Here's the Zimbabwe playing 11 for today. They've been affected by injuries, and this is their lineup. Andy Flower and Ali Shah, we think, to open the batting. Pycroft, David Houghton, who's the captain, scored 141 for Zimbabwe against New Zealand in the last World Cup, is their best player. He'll bat at 4. Andy Waller gives the ball a real thump. Alistair Campbell to bat at 6. Butchart's an all-rounder at 7. Edo Brandis, who opens the bowling, is in at number 8. Burmester playing his first matches at number 9. Kevin Duers is another seam bowler, and John Trakos, the experienced off-spinner, to complete their lineup. For New Zealand today, John Wright still injured, so Mark Greatbatch and Rod Latham to go in first. Then Andrew Jones, Martin Crowe, Ken Rutherford and Chris Harris, that middle order in good form. Chris Cairns is in the team today. Deepak Patel at number 8, the off-spinner and lower order batter. Ian Smith's the keeper. Gavin Larson stays in, and Danny Morrison today for this match takes the place of...
So the first ball of the game will be bowled by Edo Brandis, the fastest bowler from Zimbabwe. Mark Greatbatch. Well, there's a bit of pace there for a start. So the game's underway, a leg by. And there's his first run. A controlled stroke down to third man. That's down the leg side, and that's going to be wides. Well, at least it's runs. It's byes signalled by the umpire, and the over comes to an end. It's 6 for none after the first over of 43 available to New Zealand.
And Peter, it's getting a lot darker out there, and I just sense a few very light showers are probably not far away. A bit of a light drift of rain coming across the ground, and I think it could be one of those days we were on and off, and of course that helps the batting side last, doesn't it? Because,
certainly does.
A restricted game gives them a huge advantage. They know exactly what they need to do.
That's what it looks like. Pretty murky, isn't it?
Yep.
Greatbatch goes behind, gets his first run. He's going to look for more than one. Butchard's down there. And there's rain very close as Latham is facing up for the third over. He's bowled! Straight through! Brandis is delighted, and Latham's been bowled for 2. New Zealand are 9 for 1 in the third over.
Well, that looked like a magnificent delivery from Edo Brandis. Latham, he won't be happy with that, I'm sure. Just a couple of runs to his name, but just look at this. I reckon that was a beautiful delivery. Nipped back between bat and pad. Perfect.
It certainly was a marvellous ball, and the reaction from Edo Brandis says it all. The look on Rod Latham's face indicates that New Zealand has started badly in this game, with the opening batsman dismissed, bowled by Brandis for 2, and New Zealand 9 for 1 in the third. And that's bad enough news for New Zealand, but the worst news, I think, is that it's raining quite heavily now. And if this continues, Richard, I think they'll come off. In fact, they're going off now. Andrew Jones has come out, and the players are going to go off. He only just got there, and the players are rushing from the field. Umpires Carl Liebenberg and Julius Bilchins have said that it's too wet to continue. And so this is really bad luck for New Zealand and for Zimbabwe.
So play about to resume after an hour's delay. It's now a 35 over match, and Brandis bowling to the new man Jones. Coming up to the end of the 4th over. Jones has yet to score. And yes, no, and Greatbatch will have to scramble. And he gets back. John Trakos threw it down to the bowler's end. Greatbatch had a lot of ground to make, but he got back in time.
Yep.
Oh, beautiful shot from Greatbatch. Marvellous shot, 4 runs. So Greatbatch is 9. It's 16 for 1, Brandis. Here he goes again. What a good hit. 4 more. Carrying on from Eden Park. Squirts it away on the onside this time. Won't go to the fence. He'll get a couple though. The fieldsman there, Alistair Campbell. And a couple of runs for Mark Greatbatch off the last ball of the over. Well, the rain is still with us. Greatbatch swinging his bowls. Out for 15, and New Zealand 25 for 2 in the 6th over.
Yes, we're going to see here that that ball was full. Probably came in a little bit to Great Batch, got an inside edge and helped it on. But the idea was there. Great Batch was going to hit over the top, and I think New Zealand have got to take this approach. We just don't know what's going to happen with all this weather we've got around us at the moment.
25 for 2. Great Batch is out. Crow's underway with a single down to third man. Oh, he's going to get another. Kevin Duers down at third man, made a bit of a botch of that. He slipped, but he'd already dropped the ball anyway. And so a couple of runs for Martin Crowe to get him started. 28 for 2 in the 7th over. Oh, lovely shot from Martin Crowe. Magnificent shot. 4 runs. Oh, thrashed away through the covers by Andrew Jones. Superb shot.
Oh, he's picked it up again, Martin Crowe. This will run away. It's a bit higher. Hasn't quite got the carry, but it has got enough to get to the boundary. So 4 runs. Good shot, Martin Crowe.
That's going to be 4 runs. There's no fine leg, just the deep backward square. Erring down the leg side again. Yes, it's a bit slippery fielding out there, and if they put the pressures on the fielders under pressure, which I'm sure they will, 1 or 2 errors will creep in. But actually, it is now beginning to rain a little bit more seriously, and
I don't think it's too long, Henry.
I'm afraid not. I think this one looks as though it's going to come down reasonably heavily. Oh dear.
We're ducking for cover all over the place now. Andrew Jones just again, good length ball, well bowled. He's bowling well. Duers, but the umpires glancing across at each other, I think. Yes, they're walking. Mr. Julius Bulchins from Sri Lanka says that's it for the moment. So bad luck here at McLean Park. Once more, this game affected by the rain. Covers being dragged out to the middle and the players scurrying for cover.
So we're resuming again with Kevin Duers to bowl the first ball. Jones is on the way. Now it's going to be absolute bedlam now with 12 overs and 3 balls left in the New Zealand innings. 8 wickets available, and they've got to score really as many as they possibly can, and then a few more.
Well, the pace of the game is just going to be unbelievable. We're going to see something, well, we're going to see a lot of agricultural cricket, to say the least. Hitting across the line, chancing around, running down the pitch. The fielding's going to be quite interesting in slippery conditions too, I'd suggest.
Duers to Crowe. So we've had 2 interruptions. The first of them came after 13 balls. And that was when New Zealand were 9 for 1. And now we've had another interruption after 11 overs and 2 balls. New Zealand resumed at 52 for 2. So this is the 3rd start to the New Zealand innings. And 2 balls, both of them has produced a run. Have produced a run. That one didn't. Waller. Well, there's good runs for Crowe. Turning it down there, knowing it's going for
4. Oops, down he goes.
Anyway.
Well, he's gone for a few.
Now, the
Rather ungainly, isn't it? He's got a sense of humour, Peter, hasn't he?
Well, you have to have, don't you?
A bit like the Mike Gatting delivery of a few years ago when he came out to New Zealand in '78, but just losing all his poise and slipping there. Oh, that back foot, look at that. Down you go. That's dangerous.
Well, actually, he turned right over on it. He didn't put his sole down at all. He almost turned completely over and put the side of his foot down on the ground.
Well, we see the funny side of it here. He probably does as well, but he might be just in a little bit of pain.
Whoa, there he goes again. Now, this is not funny anymore. Not for Butcher. Well, maybe it is.
Well, I don't think those studs are long enough for those conditions out there, really. And, of course, they're going to gather a little bit of grass clipping as well, which is going to sort of, make it harder for the studs to get gripping into the pitch condition. But, oh, dear, dear. Well, 2 out of 3. Ain't bad.
get some, because Jones is going to profit with another boundary. Well, bad luck for Zimbabwe. They've had 2 snicks, both have gone for 4 since they resumed. Down to third man, Ali Shah won't get that one. So it's a very good shot from Andrew Jones to end the over. It's 76 for 2 now, 14 overs completed. Crowe goes high over mid-wicket, and that is right over mid-wicket. Magnificent shot from Martin Crowe to end an over which produced 10 runs. It's 86 for 2, 15 overs gone. So what a magnificent shot, Richard. That's exactly what New Zealand needed.
Oh yes, and Martin Crowe's very good on the onside. He hit that beautifully, in fact. So he's raced away to 33. He faced 24 balls, 3 4s and a 6 in that. So he's doing exactly what he knows is required. And I think if New Zealand get to 150, 160, and that's more than realistic, that may be too many for Zimbabwe anyway.
Full toss. Crowe gets it square. Brandis is going to be in work again. Oh, he misses it. The outfield did him completely.
Well, brilliant 2 balls ago. Makes a mockery of it the next.
Well,
changing fortunes, isn't it?
But he's a big man, and there'd have to be a fair bit of pull up there. And when he tried to slow down, it was just bad luck ball.
A little bit of poise lost there.
Andrew Jones, oh, what a drive. That's 4. That just races through to the extra cover boundary. He really hit that beautifully.
And if that fielder has a look at himself, he may find he has a circular hole through his tummy. I'm not certain how that ball got through him.
No. He sort of made an effort, but it was bobbling about a bit, I suppose, in his defence. But my word, it was going. Oh, over the top. That's 6 over cover. Whoa, what a thump that was. Giving himself a little room. It was full on about the line of the stumps, and Martin Crowe hit it very square on the offside, and a big 6.
Wasn't that a marvellous stroke? Making room for himself, hitting it inside out, as they say in the trade, hitting it away square with the wicket, a huge 6 into the stand. That really was a marvellous piece of excitement. They'll be talking about that here at Napier all through the winter.
Good stuff. Oh, no. Oh, Andrew Jones is falling over. There's no one at the stumps, and well, I'll get a run in the end anyway. Well, it's the hard way round, but they finished up with a single. Goodness me, it's chaos out there. Butchard, oh, he thumps it through. There's no one out on the cover boundary. That's 4 in the air for a wave, and that was going like a rocket.
Yes, and of course the one sad thing is that in these conditions with the wet ball, John Tricos, much the best of the bowlers, the off-spinner, obviously is not going to get a bowl. He couldn't hold it. It's like a bar of soap, that ball now.
Well, here's the wagon wheel of Martin Crowe, and you see the 6s there, and that's interesting, isn't it? Square of the wicket on both sides. What a marvellous shot over cover. There we are, partnership. 69 balls for the 95 runs. Marvellous stuff. And straight down the ground. Will that bisect the 2 men down there? It does. We really thumped that. Good shot, good straight shot from Andrew Jones.
Well, Zimbabwe now are praying for rain. I can be in the rain, actually, talking of that. It's just beginning again.
Actually, you're right, Henry. It's looking a bit gloomy again, isn't it?
Yes, it's extraordinary how it changes. It really is looking as though it's about to settle in again, and I dare say Zimbabwe will be somewhat relieved to put an end to this massacre of the innocents, which is what we're seeing.
So Andrew Jones, he's on to 41. Martin Crowe 57 at the other end, and Butchard, the bowler. And he's thumped this one on the leg side, and Brandis has no chance.
I know it's jolly difficult with a wet ball, but really, I think Houghton should have his fielders predominantly on the offside and get his bowlers to bowl 6 inches outside off stump.
Martin Crowe on strike. And over the top of cover it goes again. There's no man out there, as we've been saying, and really, that's fatal stuff. So 136. The 100 partnership is up between these two, and it's been whirlwind stuff. Andrew Jones going for the big shot. It's high and just short of the boundary. One bounce, 4 runs. Lovely shot by Andrew Jones. Picked it up and swung it away over mid-wicket. End of the over, 141 for 2. McLean Park, and a pretty reasonable crowd in, considering the frustrations we've had today with this weather. Still very murky, misty rain out there, but we're getting cricket. And Martin Crowe, full toss, that'll go away. That's 4. Over pitching Butchart and paying the price.
Jones just won for his 50. It has been a prodigious partnership.
Marvellous stuff. And there's his 50, just getting a hand out and taking the pace off it. Martin Crowe coming back for the second, but Andrew Jones, 50 runs for him. He's on to 51 or 55 deliveries. Some marvellous shots from him, 8 boundaries. And sharing a wonderful partnership with Martin Crowe.
And we've still got 4 overs to go after this one. It's going to be 200, you know.
I think you're right. I don't think there's too much doubt about that, Henry. Rain's the only problem, perhaps. And he's clipped this away. Oh, goodness, that's 4 more. Poor old Brandis out there. He's had a terrible time. Nowhere near it. Mind you, he's got a mile to cover down that leg side. Oh, straight down the ground. Is he going to be caught? He is caught. Lovely catch down there.
I say that was an absolutely wonderful catch with a wet ball, avoiding stepping over the boundary. That was a sensational catch. That was marvellous stuff. Andy Waller down there in the deep. He was running round. The field is treacherous, and the bowler Butchart's finally got some joy out of this game. Andrew Jones really hit it hard. Oh, what a superb catch. He nearly disappeared into our sight screen. I tell you what, that, to my mind, rates with any galaxy of catches. Those outfield catches are brutes. And honestly, he had a lot of time to think about that. A better catch on some of those instinctive ones close to the wicket. Marvellous stuff. 154 for 3. Well, Chris Cairns coming in. And with this really limited over game, 24 overs the game now because of these stoppages. We've had 20, and we're into the 21st, and Chris Cairns, he's given the job of carrying this on. And allowed appeal, and are they going to get a run in the end? There's all sorts of chaos going on out there, and they have. Well, that was a leg by, I'm sure. Was that a lead by, Henry? I'm sure that hit him on the pad. Yes, very swift signal leg by. Just done, I don't know, I reckon that might have been pretty adjacent, but it doesn't really matter, I suppose, at this stage. But the wet ball, you see, it's like a piece of soap in the bowler's hands. I think that's what caused all that kerfuffle. They're enjoying it, aren't they? Oh, goodness. Yes. Better late than never, I think, is the signal, is the caption for that particular shot of those waving chaps. Right. So Burmester, Mark Burmester. Martin Crowe trying to pick it up, loud appeal. That was going down leg side, no question about that. And umpire Liebenberg from South Africa signals a leg by. So a couple of quiet deliveries with 2 leg bys. Amazing, isn't it? Some of the whole game's changed. There has, in fact, only been 1 dot ball in the last 5 overs. That's good stuff, isn't it? Is this a world record? So many records in cricket, it's hard to keep up with them, isn't it? So Chris Cairns, there's his career record to date, but here he is out in the middle. And he's hit this one, but straight to the fielder. So 1 run again. So this is quite an economic over in the context of what's gone on before. The first 3 balls have produced 2 leg bys and a run. I mean, it's a run famine. Well, we really have got some skyscrapers today. Radio City, the Empire State, I mean, they're all there, aren't they? Yes. And one of them's got an aerial on the top. Actually, compared to the South African innings at the beginning of it the other day, looked like a tent city, didn't it? And he's clipped this away. This is a lovely shot. Timed it beautifully. That just raced away. 1 bounce, just missed the stand over there, the Mackenzie stand, and whistled, really skidded off this damp turf.
timed it beautifully, just clipping it away. And whistled in behind the stand. He has played that shot well today, Martin Crowe. So, captain David Houghton, he'll be wondering what on earth to do next. And that's a bit of pad there. Ken's coming through for a leg by. Pretty slippery for the keeper, Andy Flower.
I thought for a moment umpire Liebenberg might signal a wide, which really would have been adding insult to injury, wouldn't it?
Yes, but let's go back to Andrew Jones, and he really hit that one down the park. It looked like it was going for 4 or 6, and look at that catch. He had to... That really was superb, wasn't it?
Oh, it was a brilliant catch. You won't see a much better boundary catch than that. Just look at it again. Both feet off the ground. It is raining quite a lot harder.
Oh, yes, they've had it. They're going off.
And I think one's got to say that's a perfectly fair decision. It's been very unfair on the bowlers just lately, and I think it really has settled in. And I'm afraid I don't object to that decision.
Oh no, it's realistic. Obviously, the crowd don't want it to happen, but it really is coming down. It's very heavy, sort of misty rain. It's closed in again all around Napier. This is very sad for this game. Marvellous piece of entertainment in the last half hour or so. But looks like we're going to have a wee while to wait for some more. So there we are, 162 for 3. Superb batting, 20 overs gone. The game reduced and perhaps reduced further or even given away, who knows. So rather sad for this crowd here. It's been a pretty good crowd considering, but there we are, the scoreboard. Rod Latham, the first man out. And Mark Greatbatch going then for 15. Andrew Jones, the last man out. A lovely 57 in that partnership with Martin Crowe. Martin Crowe, unbeaten 74, superb stuff. And Chris Cairns joining him very recently. There's the bowling. And look at poor old Butchart there. 1 for 53 off 4 overs. But you wouldn't really want to line up with them today. It's been tough stuff for the Zimbabwean bowlers. So the cover's coming on. Very sad. But we'll be back in a moment.
Well, Bob, it's all on here.
It certainly is, and Danny might have been a bit lucky to get away with that one. But 18 overs. Field have got to stay up for 10. It's certainly going to be an interesting contest, this. And haven't we seen some marvellous batting just prior to that last shower of rain from Crowe and Jones?
So Martin Crowe marshalling the troops. Well, that's a good ball. It's going to be the first run of the innings. And signalled leg by. So Zimbabwe underway. They need 154 to win this game. Here's Chris Cairns' first ball. And Waller gives it a big hoik. That's a good hit. And that's the first boundary. This man can hit the ball and hit it hard. And that's 4 runs.
Well, let's hope Cairns learns something from that. We're going to see too short. Pitching far too short here. And just sat up there asking to be put away. And these players, like most of the overseas players we've seen playing in this tournament, very strong, square of the wicket.
Blau gets a hold of it. He swung it away for 4 too. That's a second boundary in the innings. This one's on its way down. Oh, first bounce to Morrison down at third man. And 1 run taken to Andy Flower. So Zimbabwe having a good over here. 10 runs so far off the first 4 deliveries.
Yes, we saw there once again, wide and short.
Waller swings away again. 6. A big hit by Andy Waller. This is a disastrous over for New Zealand. Waller puts it over the fence.
Well, someone's got to be there talking to Cairns about where to bowl. He just hasn't got He hasn't got the length right.
Beautiful delivery from Danny Morrison. That is a big blow. Andy Waller is a trump card for Zimbabwe. He's bowled for 11. It's 22 for 1.
Yes, we're going to see here Danny got it right. Block holder, right up in the block hole. See that? A little bit of outsward, past the outside of the bat. The end result was he was bowled, but that's where you've got to bowl. Up in the block hole.
Andy Waller gone for 11. 22 for 1 in the third. Here's Gavin Larson, his first ball to Andy Flower. Flower hauls him away through mid-wicket for 4 runs. Well, that was a decisive shot from Flower.
Yes, very severe on anything short here. Larson just a little guilty of dragging it out, even though it was wide of the off stump. At Larson's pace, batsman can play him from out there. And Flower seems to favour that shot, doesn't he?
Oh, an edge, and they've taken the slip out, and that'll race down to the boundary for 4. So 4 runs off the last ball of the over. And no slip in. They had them for a couple of balls, or one for a couple of balls, and just wide of Ian Smith. Down the wicket, and he's bowling. Ball coming back a little and hitting the stumps. The captain of the Zimbabwe side trying to get on with the job, but he missed and the ball hit. So Gavin Larson bowling well again here, has struck for New Zealand, and Zimbabwe lose another wicket.
Yes, and this stroke just shows that it is a hopeless task. They've got to try and do this, and they aren't up to it. Is anyone up to it, indeed?
So 41 for 2. And a good drive, shot. Lovely shot from Flower. That'll run away, there's no one out there. So that was well played. Not too much power in it, it was all timing.
I'm sure you meant to say that he blossomed then. It was lovely, wasn't it?
I thought you were going to slip that in before we're too much older. And Flower swinging it away. This will be 4. He got hold of that one very well. Ken Rutherford's out there, but he had no chance. He was a little too fine for that. So picked it up well, but that's the end of the over. 55 for 2.
Well, Gavin Larson doing a very good job here for New Zealand. He's only conceded 9 runs. He's in his 4th over. Picked up the very valuable wicket of David Houghton, who very much a dangerous customer. But I just suspect we might get a little light shower here, Peter. Could ruin this game.
That's a magnificent shot from Andy Flowers. A little bit of width. He made more and just belted the ball through extra cover.
And that's his 5th boundary too. Just give yourself a bit of room up and over the field, and that's the way to go too. So a lot of bottom hand coming into that shot.
Butchard going high.
Could be
caught.
He is
caught. Chris Cairns has got it. A big blow for New Zealand and for Gavin Larson. Cairns makes the catch. Butchard's out. Caught Cairns, bowled Larson for 3. And Zimbabwe now 63 for 3.
Yes, a good catch here at long by Cairns. A hook out. I mean, he has to do this sort of thing, take these risks, and just didn't quite get it far enough. But he would have preferred going over mid-off than instead of mid-on. But he's out.
And at 63 for 3, we're in the middle of the 10th over. No bowler can bowl more than 4 overs. This is Larson's 4th. So he's bowled him. Andy Flowers is out. And Larson has his 3rd success. Zimbabwe 63 for 4 with Larson bowling Flower for 30.
Well, he's played 1 or 2 of those shots before, and this time he didn't get away with it. And his 30 runs have come off only 28 balls. Did a pretty good job for Zimbabwe, but I think it's all over for them now, Peter.
The umpires have done a very good job. They have made every effort to make any play that was possible available to the players and the spectators. Well, he didn't need a new bat, did he? Because he's gone. 75 for 5. Hedgeges has been bowled by Harry. 6, and we're in the 13th over, 75 for 5.
Well, the New Zealanders are enjoying it now. Brandis had no alternative but to heave and try and get the ball to and over the boundary. Missed it, and Chris Harris is delighted.
75 for 5 in the 13th over. Well, he swung it behind, and it's going to be 4, but it's not out of the ground. So they'll get it quickly, they'll change quickly. Chris Harris has already given his jersey to the umpire. Martin Crowe wants the ball back as quickly as possible, and it's raining.
Pandemonium out there, isn't it? I mean, everyone knows just how important it is to get the next few balls down. It's marginal. They've come off for similar sort of showers, really, Peter, haven't they? Perhaps fractionally more than what it is at the moment.
No, they haven't come off similar sorts of showers.
Oh.
Harris will bowl these remaining 5 balls of the 15th over, which means that a game is completed as quickly as possible. The left-hander and right-hander don't help.
We'll put it this way, if they're off the field, they wouldn't be coming back on with the rain that's there at the moment.
So 4 balls remaining to have a game. Harris cannot get them bowled quickly enough. He's the right man. He plays indoor cricket for New Zealand. So he's used to a rush. He doesn't like being hit down the ground, though. Look at Morrison doing a wonderful job again. 3 more balls have to be bowled. The target is gone.
There's a lot of commitment out there. They know exactly what they've got to do, so they're hurrying, they're diving, committing themselves tremendously.
2 balls necessary for a game. Surely they can't call it off now. It's drizzling, it's dark, it's cold. It's up in the air, though.
Should be
Crowe's going for it. Oh,
yes.
Magnificent catch by Martin Crowe. A sensational catch, but it means they've still got to bowl 1 more ball.
And the rain is still there, just. No, New Zealand got it in the bag, Peter. 1 ball to be bowled to constitute a match, and that would ensure a New Zealand victory and 2 very important points. 4 out of 4 for New Zealand in the World Cup. No one else to do that yet, Peter. In fact, they can't, can they, at the moment?
4 out of 4 would be hard. England, no, they can't, because they had that farce, really, in Adelaide. Now, this is the ball that will result in a match. And Harris bowls it, so we've got a match. And New Zealand, although the game isn't over, have taken, because there's no chance for Zimbabwe, have taken 2 points to go to 8 in the BENSON and HEDGES World Cup.
And Martin Crowe knows it.
So magnificent batting today from Crowe and from Jones. A boundary to Shah, but really is of no use.
To the relief of the New Zealanders, they finally got a game under the rules of this competition. So they're going to walk away with 2 points. And I think they're going to be very happy, because they really got out of jail today in terms of the weather. I think they deserve to win this game for what it's worth, but a bit sneakily perhaps in the end.
Chris Harris takes another wicket. That's the end of Ali Shah, bowled for 7, and Zimbabwe 97 for 7. This is over number 17. There's 1 ball left in the 17th over, then a further over to be bowled before the match is to be concluded. And Chris Harris gets the reward for bowling straight, John.
Yes, that was a good ball, and we've seen Harris and Larson bowl well on this wicket, where the ball's just done a little bit. Of course, we've had this dampness around all day. New Zealand came out to bowl these 18 overs. They had the 2 new balls, of course, 1 at each end, and they've been able to use it quite well, those 2 bowlers particularly. Danny Morrison bowled a good opening spell, and Zimbabwe, who had a very demanding task, just haven't been able to get anywhere near it. That's the bottom line.
The last ball of the match, they've got to get 49 from it. That is the end of the game, and New Zealand have won.
Yes, that's a tall order, isn't it? 49 for the last ball. But it's been an interesting day. Crowe and Jones, really the highlight. Hasn't been much fun for the McLean Park crowd, but they gave them both a great little partnership.
So the end of the game at McLean Park in Napier, and Martin Crowe, who's been the player of the match, the UBIC's most valuable player for the day, A blazing innings of 74 not out from just 43 deliveries. And there's his great batting partner today. They hold the world record for first-class partnership of 467 today. Another very significant partnership between those two, Crowe and Jones. 129 they scored together in an hour. Well, in the end, Zimbabwe got to face their 18 overs. It was very murky and very wet when play finished. They fell well short of the target of 154. 105 for 7 they were at the end. The top scorer, Andy Flower, the opening batsman, who nudged 30 pretty quickly. Chris Cairns was very expensive, a nightmare for him really, 2 overs for 27. But the good work for the New Zealand bowlers done today by Danny Morrison, 14 runs, he conceded off 4. Gavin Larson, 16 off 4, and Chris Harris, 15 off 4, and wickets for each of those bowlers, 3 each to Larson and